And I invite the ambassador for the opening speech for today.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister of Tourism, Chairman of the Sri Lanka Tourism Promotion Bureau, representatives from the trade associations, and representatives from the Sri Lankan Airways, and honorable members of media, friends, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank you all for being here, and as we heard, we have certain constraints reaching the ITB this year. So despite all the constraints, thank you very much for being here. And you saw this very beautiful video, and as you see, there are so many opportunities for you waiting for you in Sri Lanka. And first of all, I would like to say that Germany, the tourist arrivals from Germany is very important for Sri Lanka. It has traditionally been third or fourth place in terms of overall arrivals, and second from Europe after UK. And what I've heard is that even during the challenging periods in Sri Lanka, the German tourist arrivals have been consistent, and they have played a vital role in the growth and the expansion of the Sri Lanka tourism industry. And for this, I would like to thank you, and I would urge you to spread the good word that Sri Lanka tourism is back after a period of challenge, and that it has so much to offer all of you, members of media, as well as the public of Germany. I've been here in Germany for a little more than 1 year, and I haven't seen much of Germany, but I've seen a little bit to know that it's a land of beauty and a land of culture and heritage. So I think you would appreciate coming from such a country, what we have to offer. Our country, Sri Lanka, is also a land of great natural beauty. We have from beaches, beautiful beaches, to beautiful tea plantations, and we also have very ancient heritage, ancient civilization, from Buddhist places of worship, ancient monuments, to Hindu povils, Islamic, and even churches from the period of colonialism. And there are so much more, as you would have seen in the brief video. So I will not speak much because I think the Honorable Minister of Tourism and other officials of the Tourism Promotion Bureau, they have much more to add from the tourism industry point of view. But briefly, I would like to thank all of you, and I think at the first opportunity, you should try to visit Sri Lanka, and if possible, take your friends, family with you, and also after coming back, please spread the word, because I see during my brief time here, I've seen people before they go to Sri Lanka, their impressions, and after they go to Sri Lanka, when coming back, when I speak to them, their impressions are much more different. They've always come back with very, very good impressions and memories.
The city's vibrancy was matched only by the joyous gatherings filling the streets. Laughter, dancing, and a sense of unity permeated the air as families, friends, and visitors reveled.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Minister Mr. Harin Fernando, Your Excellency Ms. Varuni Mutukwana, members of the head table, and my colleagues from Sri Lanka, and the media from Germany. It's exactly an year since we sat last year at the same venue, I think. This is the same room we had the press conference last year. Can I have a show of hands? Was anyone there last year for this press conference? Oh, quite a few. Nice. And out of which I can see some familiar faces that visited Sri Lanka last year. We'll talk about it later. And the rest, how many have you been to Sri Lanka? How many have you been to Sri Lanka? Okay.
Lots of hope.
Lots of hope. Few hands, that means lots of hope. What you just saw, all of you knew what happened in 2022 in Sri Lanka, the economic crisis, what we went through and the struggle that we had to go through. And the amazing recovery that we made last year. From 2022, we had an arrival figure of 700,000 and we doubled it by 1.5 million last year. This video that we specially showed you in Colombo is where I would say the peaceful revolution happened, but now it has become a party place. This is evidence that we are showing you right now. Most parts of Asia, normally, whether it's a 31st night or whatever, I'm not talking about Europe, in Asia, they close by 1 or 2 in the morning, most countries. But in Sri Lanka, a party night, a dinner dance like this includes the dinner and the breakfast as well. We finish at 7 o'clock in the morning. And after you finish at 7 o'clock in the morning, you go to Goal Road and have your kuttus. And then you go home, whether it's a working day or not. That is Sri Lankan lifestyle. And that's not only in Colombo. That happens in down south, that happens in the east. It happens all over the country. Sri Lanka, a lot of people think it's only sun and sea. We are not only sun and sea. I always say, I said this last year also, that is our one-line brief to the agencies. We are an all-in-one capsule minus the snow. I'm pretty sure you don't want to have snow in Sri Lanka. All of you from Germany, when you have come and have a holiday there. We have everything. We have culture, we have romance, we have wellness, adventure, underwater. Minister is going to talk about a few special categories that we are going to market this year as well. And our global campaign, which will be launched somewhere in April, which is headed by a global company, Ogilvy, which is in Sri Lanka, represented by Phoenix Ogilvy. So I hope all this will take it forward. Right now in Sri Lanka, in collaboration with the European Union, there are 11 influencers from Germany on wellness, visiting Sri Lanka, going on the wellness category. So altogether, we are having 40 influencers from France and Germany covering the category of wellness. And now when we go for media and other categories, now we are going to go into specialized media categories on our fam tours, influencer programs, because we want to highlight the country-specific categories that we want to highlight in Sri Lanka. Be it wellness for Germany, be it adventure, be it surfing, or the culture. Whatever you want. So we want to be specific about when we bring media this year to Sri Lanka and going forward next year. That's very special because we need to highlight those categories. Going forward, there are a lot of plans for Germany. We are one of our top 5 markets, and in our marketing budget, Germany is in the top 5 in terms of our expenditure in our digital and the PR campaign. Those papers are also out. Hopefully, we will finish the finishing of the material by middle of March, later on. So Germany, UK, France are 3 top European markets. India being our number 1, which is our next door big brother. So I don't have to talk that much. And we have overtaken our neighboring countries as well in terms of recovery. We have, I don't know whether you'll understand when I say a double century, which is cricket. Right now we are playing a match against Bangladesh. We have scored 200,000 each from December, January to February. Amazing numbers after 5 years of recovery. I will, remain now. I will tell Minister to talk about the different way that we are going to take it forward and the categories that we are going to market and about a little bit about the global campaign. You'll come back for more. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Honorable Harin Fernando, Minister for Tourism, Lands, Sports and Youth Affairs, Your Excellency, the Ambassador of Sri Lanka for Germany, Chairman, Sri Lanka Tourism Promotion Bureau, members of the head table, and media, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to be here at ITB 2024 at a time the tourism industry of Sri Lanka is doing extremely well. We have seen increase in arrivals from our source markets as well as from our emerging markets. And Germany has always been one of our major source markets. And for Germans, Sri Lanka has continued to be one of the top long-haul destinations in the Asian region. And we saw upward trend in German arrivals in 2020-22, and that momentum continued in 2023. And in 2024, in the first 2 months alone, we have seen a 46% increase in German tourist arrivals in comparison to the same period last year. And in terms of tourism experiences, pre-COVID, we have seen 60 to 70% of German travelers spending a beach holiday or an Ayurvedic retreat in Sri Lanka. And some of the attractions have been visiting our cultural site, heritage sites, because Sri Lanka has a very rich cultural heritage, and also visiting our national parks. Sri Lanka has 22 national parks. In such a small, compact island, we have the ocean and beautiful beaches, but in addition to that, we have 22 national parks within the country. And some of them have their unique characteristics. Yala, for example, in the southern part, has the highest density of leopards in the world. And then there's another wild national park which has the largest elephant gathering in the world, in Asia. And then some of them have some of the parks of bird watching. So all these are, experiences of the German travelers. And another area that's visited by a lot of German travelers is the tea capital of Sri Lanka, which is called Nuwara, about 2,000 meters above sea level, where you get beautiful bungalows, tea gardens, and etc. But in the according to our industry stakeholders and the data we have gathered, we have seen that a lot of Germans are demanding more now. Not the standard, tourist attractions, but they want more experiences, which I think the Honourable Minister also will talk about. So, in terms of the experiences, they're looking for nature-based activities. Just trekking and walking through rainforests. Sri Lanka has one of the top rainforests, which is UNESCO heritage listed rainforests. So, and also simple things like bathing in a waterfall, because Sri Lanka has the highest density of waterfalls in the world. And we have thousands of water bodies, over 100 rivers. So all these are things that the Germans or Europeans like to experience. And also the other area would be the nature-based activities, village tours, or just mingling with the locals, having an authentic Sri Lankan food in a village setting. And so these are things. And also another thing we have noted in the recent past is Germans are traveling in smaller groups, and there are solo travelers who look for different types of accommodation. So Sri Lanka has not only just hotels, star-class hotels, but we have boutique villas, eco-lodges, tree houses, and the list goes on. So those are the type of accommodation that you can find in Sri Lanka. But out of all this, Ayurveda, wellness has taken a center stage amongst the German travelers. So most of the Ayurveda centers, whether it's upmarket or mid-range, offers a wide range of things. It could be spiritual rejuvenation, detoxification, or yoga, meditation, wholesome food experience. A lot of herbs have medicinal value that's served in this Ayurvedic centers, and just a general health and well-being. So with that, and also I just want to mention that soon after COVID, the Wellness Institute of USA picked Sri Lanka as one of the top 4 wellness destinations to visit. So going forward, we want to focus on sustainable tourism. We want to focus on digital nomads, which we want to promote actively, because Sri Lanka emerged second in the Club Med Index, which is a very popular French-based operator who promotes tourism experiences. So with that, in conclusion, I'd like to take this opportunity to highlight that we have as Chairman mentioned, we have a PR agency who's going to be appointed very soon. So we want to work with them to invite you on familiarization tours of Sri Lanka. So we will do the full sponsorship and provide accommodation, transport, airline tickets. So that's a great way to, we hope that you will take up that offer, come to Sri Lanka and and write your experiences in Sri Lanka to your readers. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, Your Excellency, Chairman of the Board, members of the head table. I would like to briefly add that, of course, a key feature of destination attractiveness is the direct flight opportunity to get to the destination straight away. Sri Lankan Airlines fulfills that obligation, and we, even though we are a network carrier, our focus has been on promoting Sri Lanka for point-to-point tourism. 80% of our traffic mix is to Sri Lanka, and we have been concentrating solely for the last 2 years on the sole purpose of promoting Sri Lanka. As far as our Frankfurt operation is concerned, we have 3 weekly flights direct to Colombo, and we are very happy to say our flights have been running with very healthy cabin factors, about 85 to 90%, with the 85% growth from last year. And if this trajectory is seen, we are very confident that we will be able to add the 4th frequency by the end of this year, subject to the availability of aircrafts that we are looking at. As far as our arrivals are concerned, most of the arrivals are from the southern German belt that we are getting. 48% are from Frankfurt, and 22% from Munich, and 17% from Düsseldorf, as we've seen from our traffic trends. So as far as German operations are concerned, we have tied up with Deutsche Bahn, and we offer connectivity from 5,600 railway stations. I know Deutsche Bahn is not a very good topic to talk about right at the moment, but we offer Rail Plus Fly. You can, with one ticket from Sri Lankan Airlines, you can use the rail services plus the air ticket and fly all the way. And we also, to cater towards our traffic from Munich, we have also code-shared with Etihad and Qatar Airways to give the connections to Colombo. In addition, we also code-share with Finnair and American Airlines to give inward and onward connections to Sri Lanka for our feeder traffic. So that's a little bit of an update on Sri Lankan Airlines. Thank you very much.
Her Excellency Varani, the Ambassador for Sri Lanka in Germany, dignitaries of the head table, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me honestly great pleasure to be back for the 2nd time after me being the minister. Last year was a challenging year, and we set ourselves a target, which I'm glad to say we set ourselves of bringing in 1.5 million tourists, which was our target for 2023. We achieved 1,488,000 tourists last year. The first 2 months of this year, clearly we have got more than 200,000 tourists. 29 days is in February, we passed 218,000 tourists. So the trend seems to be continuing well, and we are right on course for our target of 2.5 million tourists, which is our target for 2024. Well, our overall target for 2030 will be 4 million tourists, but there's lots that Sri Lankan tourism has to do to achieve that and get there, specifically getting the rooms, getting the infrastructure sorted. However, Sri Lanka is branding ourselves or launching ourselves with a new product, and like you saw, the campaign idea, this is not the campaign, it's just the campaign thought, and this is how the campaign will be drafted in. So the whole concept is why you'll come back for more, and what are the reasons for you to come back for more. And I think it's quite creative, and the man is right here who did it from Ogilvy. Sudesh, you can put your hands up so if you want to see. He's a guru of this whole creativity that was brought along, and I love that idea because we did some research, and what we figured out is 33% of our travelers are repeaters. And we realized And like it said, there was a German visitor who came for the 100th time. There's a lady who came for the 128th time. I mean,
Both are from Germany.
both are from Germany, and they're seriously in love with Sri Lanka, to be honest. So, and when you look at that, there is something significant in Sri Lanka. It's just not a bucket list country anymore. And it's a bond that we create in Sri Lanka. And it is time that we tell the world what we are about. So that is why we're going to go on a 360-degree campaign. It is not only going to be a digital campaign, but it's going to be ground branding. There's lots of TV programs, reality shows, culinary shows. There'll be things on Netflix. We've got Nas Daily, who's a huge influencer, doing some programs. So there's loads of things that's going to happen. We're getting some sports personalities, marketing Sri Lanka. So on the marketing aspect, yes, we are going to go ahead and we will get the numbers. But it is our job to make sure that the quality prevails and the quality improves. So currently, out of India, ITC is just opening up their hotel. The first hotel out of India is going to be opening in Golf Face in Colombo. And the Ritz-Carlton have filed an application for a 65-key hotel in Arugambe, which is one of our beach resort areas. Sheratons have been open. We have an Intercontinental about to be open. Cinnamon Life will have an 800-room hotel which will be open very soon, I think probably end of this year, with a massive casino as well. Port City has started its development. Colombo, under the patronage of the president, he is taking his president official residence off and making it a tourism zone and moving that area for tourism activity, and which is going to be bars, pubs, etc. Because we found one thing in Colombo. Colombo city, most of the tourists go out of Colombo, but it's only the business travelers that stays in Colombo. But Colombo is a beautiful, clean city, and we need that entertainment and the vibe going on. As you saw the 31st nights, our partying, our culture, we are true islanders. We are happy-go-lucky people. We're always with a smile. We're always up for a good time. We're always for a party. So we have the highest consumption of alcohol also by India.
Per capita.
Per capita.
Per capita.
So Sri Lankans could drink very well. And we like to feast. And whoever is our guest, we like to feast. And one more thing that we're working on, and we're going to launch on the 31st, is marine tourism. We are an island. We have 143 shipwrecks from the Second World War. And we've identified this. We've got the locations. So we're launching this on the 31st of March and the 1st of April. We will be launching some yachts. We're going to do the marine tourism, and we're going to take it very seriously. And that would attract the high-end tourism also, that what we need on our income. The last 2 months, which is January and February, got us close to about $750 million, and which is significant from comparing to last year. We want a mix of both kind of tourists, mid-income, the backpack trails, as well as we need the high-end tourism as well. We do have even villas, high-end boutique villas, which goes up to per day $14,000. So you can imagine the difference. And you have the homestays, the guest houses, which is from $20, $30 to even a $14,000 villa. So we're quite, we have a broad spectrum. So I think the tourists will get value for money, and also we are creating a lot of events. As you all know, Sigiriya, Colombo Fashion Week, which is one of the top 20 fashion parades, or whatever you call it, I'm sorry, is going to have a special, like in Berlin, like in many iconic areas, in front of Sigiriya, being the rock, being the backdrop. We're going to have a massive fashion show to attract and tell the world about Sigiriya as well. So there's lots of new campaigns, new initiatives that Sri Lanka Tourism have taken, and also adventure tourism. And we are looking at new markets as well. We're not looking, we want to consolidate the German market, we met the tourism authorities of Germany. We requested them to speak with few airlines. Air seat capacity opening up is the key for German travelers to come to Sri Lanka. So all you journalists, please help us write something positive saying to fly some airlines into Sri Lanka. Because right now we only have the Sri Lankan Airlines flight flying from Frankfurt. But the moment what I realized is when I took over, my job was to find fuel and make the last tourists leave the country because we were in a crisis. From that time onwards to where we have achieved, for me it's truly a miracle. And what we have done, how we have bounced back, when I go back, and the first day we all took over office and went and sat, all we had to do was try to find where the tourists is, where are they stuck, and how to get them into the airport. All the airlines pulled out. But we Sri Lankans are very resilient. We fought it hard, we got back, we went around the world, and people probably, because of our hospitality and the experience they've had with Sri Lanka, they supported, and thank you so much, especially to the Germans. Thank you so much for doing that. Thank you for coming back. And what you can write something positive on us is that airlines like Discovery, Lufthansa can actually do charters at the season time, and those flights will be full. It's a matter of starting. Oh, I'm not going to talk about Maldives. Last time I spoke about Maldives here and I got into a lot of trouble. So I'm not going to say, but I do know there's a lot of charters going to Maldives. In the history, it used to be Sri Lanka and then going to Maldives. But at least we're saying, okay, go to Maldives and come to Sri Lanka. So at least, so they can do that. Because Sri Lanka offers a variety, not only the beach. That's what I tried to say last time also. Maldives is an ideal destination, but Sri Lanka has more culture, history, the mountains, many things, adventure tourism, so lots that can be offered. And we are also working very much on sustainable tourism. We are changing our hotels into solar. We are importing for tourism vehicles, 1,000 vehicles are all going to be electric. And that's another initiative where we are even changing the tuk-tuks, the famous tuk-tuks, into becoming electric. And we've got an ADB project going on it. So Sri Lanka is becoming beautiful by the hour, and you will see it. I always say, seeing is believing. And when you were lifting your hands, I saw many people have not been to Sri Lanka. You see these videos and tell me that that's not your next trip, I'm going to be very sad with your thought process. So please, this is one of the best places that you must visit. Again, I'm saying it is not going to be a bucket list country. You just have to go visit it, and then you will really realize the beauty, the vibe that this country and the positivity that Sri Lanka has to offer, which will change your life. So on that note, I will open it up for questions. Tourism-wise, we are bringing a national policy for tourism, how we are going to move forward. The policy has been approved by Sri Lankan cabinet, so any government changes, any president changes, the policy would not change. And that is one very solid step when it comes to sustaining the tourism policies, because in our part of the world, governments change, the policies change. So that should not be the case when it comes to tourism, because we really want to see the lowest hanging fruit for Sri Lanka is tourism at the moment, and we need to capitalize on that. So open for questions. Put me in trouble, it's okay, I'll answer to the best of my ability.
Guten Tag, ich bin gebeten worden, auf Deutsch zu reden. Ich war letztes Jahr im August auf Einladung des Sri Lanka Tourism Promotion Büro für etwas mehr als eine Woche in Sri Lanka. Es war eine eindrucksvolle Reise. Absolut. Wir sind angekommen in Negombo, sind dann zur Südküste gefahren und nach Norden, waren dann im Hochland bei Ella und dann an der Ostküste, der Passivküste, wo gerade eine komplett neue Tourismusentwicklung stattfindet, sind dann einmal quer durch die Insel vorbeigefahren, Buka, Siglia, dann Bula. Da in der Gegend haben wir dann auch für mich der Höhepunkt der Reise, einen Elefanten gesehen. Also wir standen wirklich so face to face, bloß leider im Auto. Der Gegenüber, das war ein Traum. Schließlich Colombo, eine für Asien unübliche Stadt, aber wunderschön, sehr spannend. Da haben wir dann auch Ayurveda kennengelernt. Es war eine runde Reise. Der Gesamteindruck für mich, zwei Sachen. Erstens die Vielfalt. Die Vielfalt der Landschaft, die Vielfalt der Kultur, die Vielfalt der Religionen, die Vielfalt der Menschen ist unglaublich.
It's fantastic. So we have a couple of questions, and I go in the back row and hand over the micro to.
Yes, hello. I'm a journalist and author. I've been living in Sri Lanka during the riots for about 2 years and reporting from there about. And the life in Sri Lanka under those difficult circumstances. So I would be particularly interested in developing and the progress of developing the tourist infrastructure in the north in Jaffna. Could you give me an update about the progress, please?
Yes, the riots that actually happened was not in Jaffna, but it was more in Colombo. But we had a 33-year war, which ended in 2010. But what happened when it comes to tourism in Jaffna is very slow, to be very honest. But to be honest, that's one of the best, beautiful areas that's untapped and that has so much of potential. But the amount of rooms that we have in Jaffna is bare minimum at the moment. But we have an international airport right now in Jaffna, so there is an Indian flight that comes in from Chennai directly to Jaffna. There are about, I think, about 200 odd hotel rooms in Jaffna, but we are in the process of developing and opened it up because since I'm the lands minister as well, we have given many investors opportunity to invest in Jaffna, and I think that is one place if any Germans want to invest also could invest and find some land because it's a beautiful beach, very clean, very safe, and one of the most scenic areas that you can actually ever find. But we're trying to potentially build Jaffna on together with India because the Ramayana Trail, which is a huge thing, the Rama and Sita story, originates from India and starts from Jaffna and it goes up to the central hills. So we are now started a ferry service from KKS into Sri Lanka. So there's quite a lot of potential in that area, and it's just starting to develop. As you know, the economy is recovering now. We were a bankrupt state. Within 15 months, I think we are one of the only countries who have recovered so fast and have come out of the bankruptcy state. And IMF has completely agreed with us, and we are even getting the third bailout on the 7th of March, which is today, right? Yeah, it's today or tomorrow. Yeah, it's tomorrow. We are one of the countries who have actually done really well, and thanks to the president of the country who actually got it right, and things are looking very solid. Our dollar is getting, rupee is getting appreciated. So everything is looking very good at the moment, and the hoteliers are laughing and smiling, and the DMCs are doing really well. And I went to a few hotels at this Christmas time, and they actually told me that this year was one of their best. The staff said this was one of the highest service charge they ever got. Taj Samudra, I could say it by name because I was there. There was a 31st night on the golf race green for the public. All the staff came up to me and said that was the highest ever service charge that Taj Samudra has ever, from their inception, have been able to pay. So, yeah, almost all hotels. This is an experience I've had. So I think we're on the right direction. So in Jaffna, we have the plans. President is on some initiatives. We are opened it up for investment. And I would like to see some investment coming in. And also, since I'm the sports minister, we have spoken with ICC, that's a cricketing body like the FIFA, to build an international cricket stadium in Jaffna, which will actually bring in a lot of investment. And definitely there'll be hotels, there'll be matches played, and that way we can, sports tourism wise also, we can look into Jaffna being developed into a next level.
If I may add just one second, Jaffna, last year...
Cruise shipping, cruise liners.
Yes. When you're talking about Jaffna, CNN rated Jaffna last year as one of the top 20 hidden treasures in the world, travel destination to explore. So that's why we talk. And at the same time, cruise. I think from January to April, we are going to have 40 cruise ships coming into Sri Lanka, mostly from Europe, just to add to that point. And in terms of ratings and ranking, from the Forbes magazine ranked Sri Lanka as the number 4 destination for lone travelers. Instagram rated Sri Lanka as the number 7 Instagram nation in the world for travelers. Condé Nast has rated us very highly. We won the British Writers Guild Award last year for our Pico Trail, which will play the video in a little while. So likewise, where we were from 2022, we are back in the ratings from Lonely Planet, My Trip, to all the ratings that we have got. It's in our website. You have all the details. We are back on track again because the globally, the world of the leading travel institutes are recognizing us from all media platforms. Thank you.
Thank you. We have the next question here in the front.
Hello, thank you. My question is just you mentioned UK, France and Germany being your top markets, but what are the other key markets that you're targeting specifically?
In Europe or?
Worldwide, your choice.
Yeah, so we're actually on the 16th onwards, we're going to be in Australia. We're going to be in Brisbane, Sydney and Melbourne. We see a lot of potential in Australia because I don't see Sri Lanka as a off-season, but we are right around the year season because we have different areas for the different times. So the Australia season is our more or less the low season. I would not say off-season, but the low season. So it actually works well for us. And we saw a window of opportunity because Australians authorities and Bali authorities are actually having a bit of a tug of war. So we thought, okay, Sri Lanka is an ideal replacement for it, and we Sri Lankan Airlines fly daily to Melbourne, as well as Sri Lankan Airlines fly 4 times weekly to Sydney. And I just saw an article, I don't know how far this is true, but Thai Airways is trying to fly Perth to Colombo. So which is going to be amazing because Perth is the richest state in Australia, and loads of surfers. And from Perth to Colombo, it's only a 6.5-hour flight. So it really makes sense for us. And all in all, AirAsia, Batik, Thai Airways, Singapore Airlines, all of that connect easily to Sri Lanka. And that gives us a huge opportunity. And there's a massive Sri Lankan diaspora in Australia. And we believe they themselves can be ambassadors of promoting Sri Lanka. So we really wanted to go hard at Australia and hope that it really works in our favor. We're looking at Japan, we're looking at Korea, because we are doing an aggressive campaign in China. China is our number 5, number 6. But if we couple it up with Korea and Japan, it will all work well because they're actually good spenders. And wellness tourism really works well with them. So we've got a strategy in place. When it comes to Europe, surprisingly, we got some top influencers from Poland. And you do not believe how it actually affected. I mean, all of a sudden, we got the Polish numbers rising. And I mean, if anyone asked me, the Bangladeshi minister was there with me today, and he asked me, how did we do it? I said, through influencers. Simply through influencers. You know, the youngsters and people nowadays would love to see something on their phone. I would just want to make sure that they go there. I mean, there are people that they follow, and that really works. I think we got down last year alone more than 1,000 odd influencers, not only by the government, but together with the corporate sector, and it really works. And as I said, we did the Nest Daily videos, and it really worked, and we got a huge coverage through that as well. So I think Poland and even Netherlands and Spain you wanted to work with.
Spain and Portugal and Italy, we realized that they travel during summer a lot. So we are trying to focus on these three countries for May, June, July, August seasons as well, to increase the numbers. So that's very important. We've identified when we launch the campaign also, it will be done strategically, not that we are going to launch all 10, 15 countries in one go. It will be done according to their booking patterns. When does the Germans plan a trip? When does the French? When does India 365 days of the year. They can decide to go on holiday tomorrow. But the Europeans are more planned and structured. They book at least minimum 3 months in advance, if I'm not mistaken, minimum. And then sometimes some people even do 6 months before. So we are looking at that. So that's why we're strategically going to take this forward. Thank you.
So we have another question waiting here in the front row.
Hi. First of all, thank you for the panel, for all the great and wonderful news. It's really great to see one of the most underrated destinations in the world really coming to its own. So thank you so much. My name is Jacques Leder. I'm from Luxury Wise magazine and Lexus Insider. And I'd really love to talk to the three of you much later. I think we have a lot to talk about. But I just have 2 points of clarification. One is just one number on the percent increase year to date in 2024. I think that was, is that 42%?
46%. German.
It's just the
German market. That's the German market, yes.
I make that note. And another one for the gentleman from Sri Lankan Airways. What is your confidence, percent confidence that a fourth flight will be added from Frankfurt?
Yeah, we're very confident that, as I told you, looking at the trajectory, we had 85% growth in our arrivals to departures to Colombo. At the moment, we are awaiting, as you know, most airlines are having a dearth of aircraft. Aircraft orders in the market is a little bit difficult. So we're waiting aircraft orders. If we are to sustain this, we can definitely go for a fourth frequency by end of this year. And the gentleman next to you is actually our country manager in Germany. And I have given him the mandate actually to bring it up to even a daily product in 2 years' time. And we are very confident of the growth in the German market. Some months, in fact, it has exceeded the arrivals from UK, our third market, Germany being the fourth market, fourth best source market. So it's very positive, extremely positive.
80% positive?
Yeah,
90% positive?
It all depends on the aircraft availability, which is, of course, we are marketing and sales and marketing people beyond our subject. So we look forward, our engineering will procure these aircraft for us.
Thank you.
Ayub Baban, thank you very much for this very interesting presentation today. I had the honor to be already twice in your wonderful country and I really loved it and enjoyed it. I'm a travel and food journalist and blogger in Germany, and I would love to know, are there some very specific food festivals or something? Do you have something
We can answer.
large to talk about here so that we can could talk about the culinary and food richness of your country? Thank you very much. And the second question, are there any possibilities for flights from Munich to Sri Lanka? Thank you.
Okay, I'll first start with the culinary experience because it's again another hidden gem. One of our categories, our culinary, because you said you've been there twice. So we actually met a group yesterday as well. We are looking into reality programs with international markets like Europe and then Australia. Then we are going to go influencer culinary as well. There's a guy called Luke Martin who was in Sri Lanka last week. He's, I think, the #1 food influencer in the world. 2 years ago he came to Sri Lanka. His post went up to 35 million. This time he was here for 2 weeks. In one place was Jaffna about northern culinary, and also we are going to do it through influencer marketing, reality shows, TV programs, and even might get into Netflix as well, so with different programs. Yeah. The other one was about Munich.
And also just to add on, we will be doing culinary festivals and cultural festivals as a promotional campaign around the world. So we will have many dance, fusion, drumming acts with a culinary festival. This is quite common in Australia because of the diaspora, but we're targeting the European market, and we're trying to do one in London, trying to do one in Germany, and we're trying to do one in France. So we are just getting those proposals together, and I'm quite hopeful come summer we might be able to start off with, and we're hoping to start one in Berlin as well.
The Munich, yeah, just stop.
We work with all the top brands, the tour operator brands in Germany, and speaking to them, we have seen unless an airline goes to multiple destinations. If you look at UK, it is mainly London, which is the main airport. If you look at France, it's mainly Paris. But Germany is very unique. You have about 3 or 4 airports which the traffic is spread out. So either you go to 3 or 4 at all airports, but if you want to go to a single airport in Germany, we have identified that Frankfurt is the best choice of the infrastructure, the connectivity. So our visible focus is to increase frequencies through Frankfurt. So right now Munich is not in the picture, but as I told you, 4 flights end of this year and maybe a daily flight by 2 years' time.